Christian television for Chicago. This is WCFC, TV 38.
This week on A Closer Look, you'll meet a Chicago broadcaster who has been a pioneer in resurrecting radio shows from yesteryear.
And you'll find out how this young athlete overcame a tragic accident to become an Olympic gold medalist.
We'll also explore the lives of several writers whose work is ageless.
Don't miss these stories on this week's edition of A Closer Look.
We've all visited war museums and memorials, but today we're visiting the world's only Peace Museum. Hi, I'm Mimi Wickliff.
And I'm Dan Wheeler. Welcome to A Closer Look. The Peace Museum, located on West Erie Street in Chicago, was founded in 1981 through the efforts of Mark Rogovan, a leading Chicago muralist.
He felt that all those buttons and posters that were inspired by the peace movement in the 60s needed a permanent home where they could keep the idea of peace in the public eye.
You know, Mimi, memorabilia always brings a smile to my face because it reminds me of the good old days. And our first story is about a man who smiles quite often as he brings his listeners radio's golden moments of yesteryear.
Don't touch that dial. Stay tuned for the WAIT Radio Theater. Hello out there in Radio Land. This is Chuck Schaden inviting you to join me for 4 full hours of classic radio theater entertainment, drama, mystery, comedy, adventure, music, and variety. It's all from our hall closet collection of vintage broadcasts from not so long ago.
Chuck Schaden's hobby is old-time radio. It's also his profession, which explains why he's the best at what he does.
I'm a faithful listener. I tape a lot of the things that he does. He's excellent. Got a great knowledge of all that history of the radio years.
Chuck also has a personality which also explains the shows and makes it a lot more interesting other than just playing an old-time radio show. You can listen to Chuck and learn a lot of things also.
Today is January 28th, 1985, and on this day in 1956, the #1 song on your hit parade was Memories Are Made of
Chuck's Radio Theater is broadcast from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Friday over WAIT AM. And from 1 to 5 p.m. on Saturday afternoons, he hits the airways with Those Were the Days on WNIB FM. For Chuck, it's like a dream come true.
When I was a kid coming out of high school and college, I wanted to be a radio announcer. But I realized I didn't have the qualities of a radio announcer back in those days in the 50s. Everybody had to talk like this, and you had to be, you know.
But he did have the beginnings of an amazing collection of old-time radio programs. And 15 years ago, he took his collection public on an Evanston station. His show has steadily increased in popularity since that time.
And although I've been doing the broadcasts for 15 years now, I don't believe they would have lasted anywhere near this long if the old shows themselves weren't good. If they were lousy shows, the curiosity, the nostalgia value of it would have long diminished. And I'd be working in the savings and loan company.
But when he's not working on the radio, he can often be found here at Metro Golden Memories on West Irving Park Road, where he is the co-owner. This store has the most extensive collection of radio, television, and motion picture memorabilia in Chicago.
Talk about Margie. I've been spending my time thinking of Margie. Margie, I'll tell the world I love you. Don't you forget your promise to me. For I've bought a home, and I've bought a ring, a coat, a car, and everything for Margie.
Sue Schmidt has been working at Metro Golden Memories for over a year now, and she has witnessed firsthand the importance of nostalgia.
The minute they start remembering things, then they go, oh, I wonder if they have this, I wonder if they have that, and they want to get into it deeper. It's very important to them. Anything I think that a person remembers as a secure feeling, something from their childhood or something from their past that they might have done with their parents, I think brings out a warm feeling, a secure feeling, the way you'd like to feel.
Chuck Schaden brings that feeling to people every night through his genuine enthusiasm for the golden years of radio.
Enjoy this. We're going back to almost this day, January 27th of 1942. That's just a hop, skip, and a jump back 43 years ago. For Fibber McGee.
The radio shows are good, clean, and wholesome. There was hardly ever any radio program that was censored by the network censors. And the only ones that were ever censored by parents would be perhaps some of the mystery shows. You see, with a radio show, you have to participate with an old radio show. You have to participate, otherwise you really can't enjoy it. Now, the actors provide the voices, the sound effects men provide a little bit of sound, an organist or a full orchestra provides a little musical interlude or a bridging of scene to scene. But you have to use your imagination to make it work. You costume the actors, you decorate the set, you set the scene yourself in your mind.
Chuck not only possesses an active mind, but also a keen eye for observation.
Well, February is Jack Benny month, and we're taking a train ride up to Waukegan to celebrate his 39th birthday again this year. And we'll have a lot of Jack Benny lookalikes or walk-alike contests. You know, Jack walked with his hands out like this a little bit. Kind of special lilting walk. Okay.
Chuck is happy to see so many young people taking an interest in nostalgia. Todd Nebel is a perfect example. He first heard Chuck's show when he was in high school. He's now in his early 20s and works full-time as Chuck's producer.
Well, Chuck grew up with old-time radio, which makes it fun to listen to him because he has fond memories of old-time radio.
Hollywood Star Time production of The Lodger from 1946 and Philco Radio Time from 1947. Oh yeah, another Captain Midnight adventure. Our thanks to Todd Nebel and Mary Bolton for their help behind the scenes, to our sponsors for making this get-together possible, and to you out there in Radio Land for making it worthwhile. Till tomorrow, this is Chuck Schaden. Thanks for listening. That's a wrap.
One of the things I'm doing without trying to set out to do it is preserving the radio shows. Talented people did a lot of great work in those days, and that work should not be lost.
Isn't it funny how today's memorabilia becomes tomorrow's antiques? Somehow I could never get my mother to understand that when she'd demand that I clean out my room.
Well, Dan, there's a difference between memorabilia and junk. No one's going to spend money for your old homework or sweatpants.
You're calling my sweatpants junk. I can't believe it.
When we return, you'll meet a man who became a world-class athlete after being paralyzed for life.
Restore a newsstand.